go, our first thing we talk about is the basic route of Lakeside. And lower levels, people tend to route from this right side or to this left side through the tunnel. I think that's mega ass. There's really no reason to ever do that. You just kind of put yourself in a pretty disadvantaged position, especially up here. There's like no reason to ever route up here. People tend to think like if they route up here, it's gonna give them the bathhouse faster, which it might. But getting bathhouse fast control on a mid fight really isn't a priority. Like that's most of your flanks job, and if you have a sniper who kind of worries about bathhouse too long, he's pretty much pointless if your combo's not put in there. So like, I don't know. Generally, what I like to do is I have my sniper either route to the bats here, and I usually have route bathhouse. So I do know one thing that I think Board liked to do at least was he would route left side, at least take a shot to bathhouse, and then he would finally rotate on top of here. And then generally on mid fight, it's pretty much about whoever gets aggressive first is going to be team that's win. And a gimmick I like to do on Lakeside is that I actually try not to worry about bathhouse. You know, I kind of rotate. If I know the enemy team tries to put too much focus on the bathhouse, like they'll have like 3 or more classes trying to worry about bathhouse. But usually I like to do is like I like to come to this right side and then I'll just call for my team to all flood in at the same time. And after that, we'll all just come rushing across the right side and just land on top of everybody. Because usually at that point, like they're missing 3 players. The only person that's really gonna stop us is like a heavy and demo man, potentially the sniper, depending on where he's at. Even then, like if somebody gets headshot, it doesn't really matter because they're gonna get overwhelmed either way because they're not gonna be ready for that. Generally, I really like getting aggressive really early on this mid just because either most teams don't usually do that or most teams aren't ready to handle it. And demo men focus a lot on just spamming because there's really good spam angles on this map from behind both these staircases. So a lot of demo don't really try to set up for people pushing at them like they do on product because they don't really see where their team's at. But kind of just running at people mega early usually ends up working out for the team that gets aggressive early. But as I said earlier, it's pretty gimmicky, so it's maybe pretty easy to get caught out on it. Like if they're gonna call you out on it probably after the first time. So usually if you just be playing spam, that's pretty fine to do, but I usually like to play spam angles from around here. The only thing we have to watch out for is for a soldier bomb. Soldiers can bomb from pretty far on this map. They can pretty much bomb you from top of anywhere. But you can see them coming from so far away that they're kind of free picks no matter where they land. Or no matter how far away you see them. And your heavy should be able to deny them with your power 2 super easily. Your meg should never get caught by a soldier on this map. Make sure your meg's also always looking up. All that makes me the sake of like looking up or like looking forward like this. Obviously that's fucking stupid. As I said before, nobody should be getting backstabbed in the year 2021. This map is actually pretty good for Spy, especially because of this bats area. So Spy's gonna play on around this bats area like a shit ton. And that's something you're actually gonna have to watch out for. Usually when you have the point, I'll go into that when I get to it. But usually when you have the point, you're not gonna want your sniper to play on bats anymore. That position is pretty much pointless if you have the point. And it's gonna be important for your sniper to rotate because if your sniper plays on top of bats, unless he hears the decloak from far away, he's almost never going to get protected from the spy. He's pretty, even if his whole team's underneath him, it's pretty hard to save him from the spy from top of bats. Just never should be aware of that. Don't be afraid to call out spy time on the mid. Spy is generally going to get around this area, I would say around like 20 to 25 seconds in the game. So make sure you're paying attention to that so someone doesn't cut right in front of the spy. And spy is able to do close decloak all the time underneath here. That's something to watch out for. And that spy doesn't really have a lot of places to decloak. It's just he has a lot of ways to cancel out his volume just because of all these walls up here. So it's kind of hard to hear him coming, but he's relatively easy to see coming because this map outside this giant hill of a point is generally pretty flat and very open. But yeah, I like playing on this left side here because it helps your dome and helps spam things in bathhouse. And the sniper usually, this is the least viewed spot. The sniper can see you from pretty much anywhere if you're above the point, but he's least likely going to be looking around here because he's going to be up there or he's going to be in ruin. And yeah, so generally he won't see you coming up around here. Sometimes snipers like to play beyond the point. I think that's fine. I don't think it's like terrible, but I actually hate having snipers all down here because they're pretty useless unless the enemy team loves spamming. What the hell is that? Unless the enemy team loves... I did it again. How did I do that? I'm like turning to the right randomly. I don't know how I did that. Anyway, that's pretty pointless for simply shooting there like that unless you're actually like on top of the plane shooting like this, which is never going to happen. And if you're getting on the plane, it usually means you're kind of owning the enemy team a lot, so the sniper doesn't like really matter down there. I recommend having a sniper fall down there after he's afraid of being caught out by a soldier or spy. And that's another thing you gotta watch out for. Soldiers are going to try to go behind you once they realize they really can't bomb on top of the combo, or it's not gonna be nearly as free as they thought it would be. Which generally what happened after it. Usually they're either gonna start doing that immediately, or they're gonna do it after they're dying from a pretty shitty bomb once. And then there is the worry of bathhouse, but especially on midfight, I don't think bathhouse is really anything to worry about. It's a really good place to hold inside, so obviously people want to go for ASAP. But honestly, like if you don't have the point and you're a team that has to get aggressive, being in bathhouse kind of sucks. Like just sucks a lot because obviously every single entrance inside of it and exit's a really tiny choke. So you get caught out by a sniper, it's easy to get caught out by spam, it's easy to get caught out by literally anything from side bathhouse, which is generally I generally avoid staying bathhouse. It's good to have comms on, and this is why I like having a double man here, because your double man usually can just push stickies or rolls into there and getting focused on top of the point. What you gotta be careful of is your double man's gotta be careful walking above the stairs, because he's probably just gonna lose his head instantly if he does that. Because Sniper's really not gonna have much to look at if you are playing spamming from behind the point. If you're playing the spam game, make sure you punish people with your sniper or without your sniper. Just make sure you're punishing people for being too aggressive on the point. I generally love to have my whole team play on the same side as my demo man. So if my demo man rotates right, I try to have my whole team rotate right. And it's really important to make sure that your demo man comms like where he's rotating to make sure your team is on the same side, focusing down with him. One thing that's important for your heavy to keep in mind is I know they just called this the gay spot. So like heavy head glitching here, that's a classic spot. But don't route to immediately doing that unless team's playing on the right side, because you can die there instantly. In lower divisions, you could probably get away with head glitching here, and they're probably not going to punish you as easy as they should. But obviously, you can get headshot there pretty easily. You can get spammed there pretty easily once people realize you're there. But the lower level thing I just mean is that they're probably going to be slow on the uptake if you're going to try to do that. But just because it's a lower level, I wouldn't try to see how much you can get away with. I would only play there if you're Dolman trying to play on the right side. And generally, you're going to get aggressive on this map pretty much off of any other reason ever in Highlander, just like off a sniper pick, off a demo pick, off a heavy pick. Heavy picks are actually really, really good on this map because heavy is actually really important for this point. Like on product, heavy doesn't really have too much to do outside of like the cliff spot, but on lakeside, heavy actually has a lot of good angles to play around. So playing aggressive off a heavy beam that's actually really good. And something you should always keep in mind is either your spy or just through where you see they're spamming. Like you see pipes coming from over here or the angle they're coming at. Keep that in mind because that's going to tell you where the combo's holding. And if you realize that, like you see pipes coming from this side over here from your left side, and you know the heavy's on the right side, you can actually get aggressive off that pretty easily. Just push the opposite side the heavy's on. And as I said, men typically don't try to sticky off the ground on this map. So there's really nothing really stopping you from being aggressive outside the sniper, because the other one's not really like a sticky. He's gonna be stopping you if either like no stickies loaded or pipes, and the only other person really gonna stop you is a sniper. So generally, I like to push off the side that the demo man's on, and especially if I see that his heavy's not with him, it's so easy just to run at that demo man. You're almost guaranteed to get picked on demo at least, and just make sure when you're being aggressive like that, it's same exact thing as product where you want to make sure you're coordinating with your soldier as you're doing it, because your soldier can actually get so much done on this map because he can bomb from pretty much anywhere to anywhere on this map, which is obviously like super convenient. So that's something you really want to abuse a lot. And this is actually a pretty decent Smaya map too, so really make sure you're coordinating with Azzy. But during mid fights, I honestly wouldn't worry too much about coordinating with your spy. Way more about coordinating with your soldier. And it's important for your heavy, you're playing on the left side, that when you guys are getting aggressive, it's actually important for your heavy to pay attention to bathhouse and for the spy. Because your domain can't really help counter spam and bathhouse, you can try and push in there, but if your heavy can stuff them, you can stuff them by just looking at them. You don't have to commit your whole life, but you can usually just look at bathhouse, and this is going to stop people from trying to push through bathhouse, trying to kill FaZe and the rest of his team from not FaZe, Red, and the rest of his team from pushing across the point. So that's something you gotta make sure you work on. Mid fight's really important because I think this is the easiest map to get momentum on. Like once you have the point, it's kind of really hard to lose it, especially a lot harder compared to like Asheville and Product. A big reason for that is because this map is just really big. It takes forever to walk from spawn, and then on top of that, the enemy team that has the point has so many good angles to work with, and it's really hard for the enemy team to find a good counter sniper angle, or just find a way to push without having to worry about the sniper. And usually on mid fights, there's like two ways to hold it that I remember, and one of them is holding inside a bathhouse. But for the sake of time, because my memory is really not that good about holding a bathhouse, I'm not gonna talk about holding a bathhouse. But if you want to look at like an older K&D VOD or whatever team holds in bathhouse, you guys want to talk about that, I do recommend that because a bathhouse hold is pretty decent, but I just really don't remember that well, so I'm not super confident to give you guys good advice about hold a bathhouse. But I do remember the 101 of holding around the point. And the thing that's going to get you the most time on this once you have the point is going to be your sniper. And then your Delman can also get a lot of really good sticky traps here. Not every single place is a choke point, unfortunately, and they do have a lot of places to go from, like the tunnel to ruin, this lower main, bottom right, top right. They have a lot of places to work with. So really your stickies are pretty much limited to around here or down this main area. So your Delman is pretty much be I would really just recommend I would really recommend focusing on setting up traps way more than you probably would on any other King of the Hill map when you have the point, and then after that your pipes really aren't going to accomplish anything. Delman doesn't really have a lot of unless enemy team's pushing, you're not really going to get good spin on anybody, because if they're here around this area, the time your pipes are actually going to be useful, that usually means they're going to be pushing, trying to get on top of the point. So you're going to be back here sticking them off, trying to stop them from walking on the point. So most of the times we come from your sniper. And a big mistake a lot of people make is that their sniper kind of goes rogue. Usually what I did is we would have our sniper play where our combo goes, but you can do it the other way around. Your combo could play around where your sniper goes. Just make sure your combo and your sniper are actually on the same side. Like sniper sniping from this left side of point, you play around that. Same logic applies if you're on the right side of point. You want to play if you're sniping on the right side of point. Just because that's going to just give them so much more support to work with, and your sniper is the most important asset for holding the point down. Your heavy, as I said, your heavy is going to be way more impactful on this map compared to the majority of the maps in the map pool, at least from when I was playing, because he has so many angles, different angles to work with here. So your heavy and sniper always has amazing impact, and when you have the point on this map, his impact is absolutely it's kind of comedic how important he is once you have the point. And then Delman really won't be able to do too much compared to like Asheville and Product, because there's just literally no room to work with when it comes to spamming your pipes. You're really just gonna be waiting for somebody to call something. You're gonna be shooting a couple rollers every now and then. I actually recommend running the stock grenade launcher over Iron Bomber on this map, just because you're just gonna get way more distance out of them compared to Iron Bomber. Because I believe if you shoot like an Iron Bomber from over here, it kind of just stops right there, and obviously that's not going anywhere. It's not gonna hit anybody. With regular rollers, you can go down to around these areas, like way closer to the actual choke point, where people are gonna be peeking and trying to edge in from. And then while your combo's playing here, it's gonna be pretty self-explanatory, but obviously then you're gonna have your flank play inside the bathhouse area. As I said with other King of the Hill maps, when you have the point, your #1 focus always should be to never die. You're gonna win King of the Hill by your cap time, not by your frags. So if you're a soldier class or a scout class and you're dying to kill a pyro or a demo man or anything that's not a medic and sniper, and let's say you manage to kill to kill a pyro but you die, you just did the enemy team that's trying to push a favor, because obviously your your respawn timer is way longer than theirs. And that's something like a lot of people keep making this mistake of. I don't know why. Like, don't chase a 1v1, don't chase a kill. Like if they're running away, that's even better, because they're gonna go back and get healed up, and they're wasting time trying to get healed up. They're wasting their time by trying to force a fight with you too early without their team. And if people are doing that, that's something you want to take advantage of over and over and over again, because that's just gonna get you more cap time repeatedly. And speaking and with all that, your bathhouse here is really just going to be held by your soldier, scout, and sometimes your engineer. I think an engineer is honestly way better. Like, you can have his mini in bathhouse, but you really don't need too much presence in bathhouse. I think your engineer is better off like focusing on making sure the dispenser is staying up and kind of playing around this area way more often. So you can rotate the bathhouse, or you can rotate down here. I think engineer is pretty important on this map, because mini sentries also have such a wide angle on this map because it's so open. So they're pretty good at denying people from running across the point, or running in a bathhouse, or bombers from jumping across. So I know some people like having engineer here, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think your engineers would be better off trying to rotate constantly or way more, trying to show support with your combo while occasionally making sure if flank needs the support when asked. But your scout and soldier are mostly gonna be holding this bathhouse by themselves, and occasionally your pyro. I really like having a pyro that rotates in bathhouse a lot. As I said, I don't depend on a pyro for spy checking. I don't think you guys should either. I think that's very 2009 logic to have like a pyro focus on spy checking. I think a pyro bathhouse is so good because it's such a tight area here, such a tiny choke, and usually it's only the enemy's flank that's pushing. Enemy flanks can consist of like a soldier or a scout, and your pyro gonna help deny the soldier so well, and they're not gonna have a pyro to help deny your flank. So that's something I really recommend having rotate every now and then. Captain rotating in the bathhouse. Just make sure when you're rotating the bathhouse, be careful of sniper silent, sniper's cloud. Don't just rotate in the bathhouse randomly because you think you were with your combo for too long. Because if you get nonchalant about it, you're gonna lose your head, and then you're gonna lose a pyro on defense. Meaning you're gonna be without pyro for like 20 seconds. Or your engineer, whoever decides to rotate the bathhouse across the point. Just be careful of stuff like that. But generally, I don't like putting too much presence in bathhouse unless it's my combo holding in there. But as I said, I really don't know how to hold in there very well, so I'm not gonna talk about that with the combo. But yeah, as I said, generally on the outside, you're gonna be playing around this area here. Your combos will be rotating with your sniper. You're pretty much gonna be milking off your sniper to get as much time as you can, because sniper's getting you majority of the time. Even if your sniper dies, it's not like, oh, it's game over, like you have to give up the point. Like not having your sniper sucks, but your sniper's really good at denying them from walking through this whole area, which is a lot of space. But your snipers at us, they're gonna feel way more confident walking across there. And when they do it across there, it's not the points free, but they got a lot of room now. But pretty much if you lose your sniper, it turns into an even fight at that point. So you can still easily contest the point. Like them can easily still deny them from over here without having to worry about the enemy sniper. So when you lose your sniper, don't give up hope yet. It's just now the fight's actually fair, and you have to take it like a pretty much like almost like a mid fight over again. But yeah, as I said before, combo plays on the side with the sniper. Sniper plays on the side with the combo. Generally, I like have a pyro and engineer like to rotate between the combo and bathhouse. And then your soldier and scout are going to be playing exclusively in bathhouse once you have the point. Please remember to save the health pack for the soldier class, not the scout, unless you actually need it over your soldier. Scout takes literally 2 seconds to heal. Scout can easily go back here, get buffed up by the medic real quick. Don't forget, that's part of the reason why Scout's like overpowered in 6 is because he's so easy to heal. So you kind of want to abuse that Highlander too, especially for this map. Like rotate back, go on this ramp, or rotate around bathhouse or that way. As long as the sniper's not looking, get some quick health for your medic. Usually this full health pack can be reserved for your soldier is 200 health, which obviously is the second highest map pool health in the game. That's what you want to keep in mind. And another thing you're going to be worried about is the most annoying thing to do on this map is trying to push. It's also really hard to sack. Because I said earlier, something that you're going to be in trouble with. Sorry. Is trying to find a good angle to push. And the reason why it's going to be such trouble is you're going to have to worry about their sniper. And usually what my team found out to do is the easiest way to push against a sniper is to find the angle, because the sniper is usually going to be with the combo. So you're going to find the angle the sniper is trying to snipe from. And obviously you're going to push the opposite angle. Like if you snipe on the right side of the point, we're pushing this left side. If you snipe inside the bathhouse, we like to push across this side. Push across this side kind of sucks. If you snipe in bathhouse, still gets a good angle. It depends where you're sniping from bathhouse, but left side, we push right side. Bathhouse, like literally from inside of here, then priority going this left side would be better. But yeah, just make sure you have a good combo with the sniper you're playing to counter his angles. And then you can also force the sniper to be sniper. That's a pretty good idea. It just kind of sucks that force your team's gonna push not through the sniper. But yeah, getting a sack out's also gonna be really tough because trying to sack from way back here obviously sucks. Knowing your team's really gonna be able to sack that well. What I recommend doing honestly is I would leave your pyro with your medic. Oh, I forgot jetpack's a thing now. I mean, it's not a good idea. I guess you probably should just keep your heavy with your medic, and then you have your rest of your classes kind of run forward. Like you give your demo man soldier kind of initiate the bomb, and the rest of your team kind of runs behind them. That's something you can do. That could kind of make up for having to worry about the sniper, because if you die to the sniper during a sack, it's not going to matter. But obviously your demo man soldier and get a lot of room, and seeing a pyro scout engineer and the rest of the classes kind of run at them. Obviously, sniper can't headshot everybody at the same time, so you're gonna lose people before you actually technically get to the enemy team. But if you're not confident taking a free sniper and you want to get something going on ASAP, that's literally your best bet. But I do recommend just find the angle the sniper sniping at, push the opposite angle that that obstructs his sight line as much as possible, and then you're going to then you can force the sniper to sniper once you actually get through. You can actually start counters. You can spam the sniper because you can't spam so far away, but you'll actually be able to get a good spam angle on him once you actually get this close. And if you can actually do that, then you can probably sack. Just be careful because if you get this far, your med comes out this far with you, and they have Uber ad, they're just gonna pop on you. It's so easy to kill a medic on this map if they're cut out. Like, let's say like this, like the edge of this pillar is a line. Once the medic's past this pillar, he's probably gonna die if they pop Uber. It'd be so far back on this map as medic if you have Uber this sad. It kind of really sucks. Yeah, generally that's how I push. Pushing is pretty simple. I know sometimes people push to bathhouse, which I actually don't think is a bad idea if you're trying to like do a normal push. Like you don't have the point, you lost mids, and you're at Uber to say you want to push the bathhouse. I actually think that's perfectly fine because the sniper sight line into here is not very good. He has such a short opportunity to shoot you, and he has to be on the right side to do that. And if he's trying to do that, it actually opens him up to be very vulnerable for a counter snipe from anywhere. So having a couple people push from the right side while your team pushes from the left side, they're actually a really good way to divert the sniper's attention and get a free shot in on him from your own sniper. But yeah, when you're doing this bathhouse push strategy, you're not actually going to go inside the bathhouse unless the enemy team has no presence in there. Then it might actually be a good idea to go there. But usually when I push to this left side tunnel here, I'm not actually trying to go through bathhouse. I'm actually usually walking down this ramp and going behind the point and taking the fight from there. Like reinitiating a mid fight from there. That's usually my favorite way to re-push the point, to be quite honest. But as a King of the Hill map, there's really nothing too complicated about it. Everything I just mentioned is pretty straightforward. That's pretty much the 101 of it. I'm usually used to it talking way more because sometimes I talk about payload maps or steel, so usually can go on forever. For King of the Hill, they're pretty straightforward. Defending, mid-fight, and pushing, that's what they're really talking about. So, if you have any questions or I didn't cover something that you wanted me to cover, you can ask me.
What do you think is a reasonable soldier loadout?
On this map?
Yep.
You rock or launcher of your choice, gunboat's 100% and whip.
Okay.
I always say gunboats because your mobility is actually going to be so insanely good. The best thing you could ever do for soldier, and this applies for every game mode, is to be flexible with your loadout. Like if you have the point and you're confident you're going to hold it for a while, then I recommend going battalions.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if you do lose the point, you stay alive. You can just make the sniper completely useless by having battalions ready. The conch would also be good because that makes us you have to get healed less and not have to worry about going to a sight line for the health for this thing. I always recommend the battalions because the health boost gives you also a bigger buff to work if you manage to get one, and it's going to give you more health from the health pack. And the ability to negate sniper on this map is so really, really nice. So unless you know you're going to have the point for sure, then that's pretty much the best time you're going to have to rotate to a backpick. But other than that, rocket launcher, gunboats, and whip is perfectly fine. Like you can get away with that running that full time on this map.
Sounds good. Does anybody have any other questions?
No.
All right.
There's a couple. Alright. I know Lasky's muted. I don't know if he knows he's muted.
No, I know. I knew I was muted.
If we do have the point phase, you can, like you said, you can go battalions and you can go black box. Because like I mean, if we have the point, it's pretty free to run black box.
Yeah.
Because we're just holding an area that's really hard to push regardless.
Makes sense. I'll give it a shot.
We could run level 3 sentries on this map.
I was actually gonna talk about that. If you guys want to run level 3 to succeed, pretty decent.
If Zuzu knows the regular balcony spot, but you literally just put the sentry gun right next to the right next to the little shield guard.
Mm-hmm. I'm spectating.
On the little shield guard right here. Usually you put the sentry here, and it makes it very easy for the engineer to wrangle and like side peek just in case the sniper's watching. So he should do so depending on what side he's on, obviously If it's on that side, you put it over there. If it's on this side, you put it over here. I think it's very good. You can wrangle the center. You can like jiggle peek, like up here and like shoot the wrangler. You can put the dispenser and the teleporter right here, so that way it's very easy for our literally our flank and our combo to just post use it. It also goes into the play where we hold the certain side where the demo's spamming.
Eureka effect moment.
I don't know about
Fair
the
enough.
Eureka effect, but
You can say
Yeah,
you don't know about it. That's the meta now. If you're gonna run level 3s on Lakeside, there's
Alright.
just not enough metal.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
Happy holidays.